All right, hello, long time no see. So today we're going to go over the practice. Oh boy, this is going really well already. Practice quiz answers. I already posted the answer key on Google Classroom, but in case you need help on actually solving them, here we go. All right, so number 1 says 2. Maybe, let's see. Oh, here we go. 2x plus 3 less than 9. Remember, we're going to move that easy Lego first. That is the Lego that is stuck to the least amount of things, which is going to be that 3, right? Because these guys are not only stuck to the equation, but they're stuck to each other. Too much. So let's move that 3. All right. So we're going to do minus 3 on this side, and when you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So those are going to cancel. We have 2x less than 9 minus 3 is going to be 6. Now the x is still not by himself, so we are not done yet. That x is hanging out with a 2 via multiplication. In order to undo that, we do division. So divide, we get x less than 3. And that is our answer. And I think we have to graph it. So let's go ahead and do that. Here is 3. It's going to be an open circle because it does not include the 3. So our little bag is empty. 3 is not in there. And we want all the x's that are less than. So it's going to go that way. All right, next one. We have 3t minus 2 is greater than 10. All right, again, we start with that easy Lego. That is the 2. So 3t, those cancel. Greater than 12. T is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 3 by multiplication. So we undo that using division. And we have t greater than 4. And if we graph that, we have 4 here. That is an open circle since it does not have the little line, does not include 4. And we want all the t's bigger than 4. So that way. All right, number 3 says 7 greater than or equal to 1 minus 6r. All right, so we do move the easy one first. That's minus 1, minus 1. We're going to get 6. Don't forget this minus here. It's still hanging out with that 6. All right, now we got to divide both sides by negative 6. Before I even do anything, I divided by a negative. So I have to switch my alligator. All right, now I can do stuff. Those are going to cancel out. I'm going to have r on this side. And negative 6 divided by negative 1 is just a negative 1. So that is our answer. Whoops. All right. And if we were to graph that, here is negative 1. This is a filled in circle because we have that or equal to sign, meaning it includes the negative 1. And we want all the r's that are bigger than negative 1. So that way. All right, let's do number 4. So we have 2x minus 3 greater than negative 1. What is upsetting me about this already, guys? That's right, those parentheses. It's very clicky, makes me uncomfortable. Let's get rid of them. We get rid of them using distribution property. So we multiply 2 times x and 2 times that negative 3. Now let's simplify. So 2 times x is just 2x. And 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6. And then greater than negative 1. Now we're going to start by moving the easy Lego, which is that 6. So if it's minus 6, I move it by doing plus 6. Those are going to cancel out there. We have 2x greater than 5. Remember, negative 1 plus 6 is going to be 5. Now that x is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 2. So let's divide that out. So we get x is greater than 5 over 2. And I'm going to leave it like that because I am lazy. So here's 5 over 2. It is an open circle because it does not include the 5 over 2. It is only greater than. And I want all the x's bigger than that. So that is what it looks like. All right, moving swiftly along to number 5. We have 1/3 a. Oh, where did it go? Oh boy. Sorry guys, as you know, my laptop is possessed by the powers of Satan. All right, plus 1/2 greater than 2/3. Oh, so many fractions. We'll make it though. We're going to move the easy Lego first, and although it doesn't look like it, it is this 1/2. So we do minus 1/2 and minus 1/2. That's going to be 1/3 A. Those are going to cancel. Is greater than 2/3. And I'm just going to write this on one line because we got to find common denominators, and it's a whole thing. So here we go. The common denominator between 3 and 2 is going to be 6. That's the least common multiple. Now to get from 3 to 6, I multiplied by 2. So what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now to get from 2 to 6, I multiplied, oh my heavens to Betsy, multiplied by 3. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So that is a 3 up there. Now I have the same denominator, so I can subtract across. And I am going to get, let's continue up here, 1/3 A greater than, and then 4/3 minus 3/3 is going to leave us with 1/6. All right, now that A is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 1/3. So let's go ahead and multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Oh boy, this thing is crazy. All right, so the reciprocal of 1/3 is simply 3, right? Because it would be 3 over 1, and what's 3 over 1? Just 3. So we got 3 on the top and a 3 on the bottom. They cancel out. We're going to have A is greater than, and then here we're going to do, that's going to cancel. We're going to have 1/2. So A is greater than 1/2. So here's the 1/2. It is an empty circle. It does not include the 1/2 because it does not have the or equal to, the little line on the bottom. We want all the A's bigger than 1/2. So that way. All right, so number 6, we have 15 less than, oh boy, 5 parentheses M minus 7. All right, you already know what's upsetting me here. The parentheses, let's get rid of it. So we have 15 less than 5M, right? Because 5 is visiting the M, and then 5 is visiting the negative 7. To give us a negative, oh my God, bear with me guys, a negative 35. That's okay. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Negative 35. All right, so we're going to move the easy Lego, which is a 35, and since it's negative, we are going to add it on both sides. Those go away. We're going to have 15 plus 35 is 0. Carry the 1. That is 50. All right, and 5M. Now that M is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 5B of multiplication, so we got to divide him out. Then 50 divided by 5 is 10. So 10 less than M. So let's graph that. Here we have our 10. It's an open circle because it does not include the 10. And then we want all the M's bigger than that. So that way. All right, moving swiftly along to number 7. Oh boy. This whiteboard's really going well today. All right, so number 7. We have, oh my God, guys, 2 plus negative 6 is greater than 0.8p. All right, so first things first, I have a plus and a minus. That's very disturbing. Let's combine it into 1. So when we have a plus times a minus, what do we get? A minus. All right, that's much better. So 2 minus 6 is going to be a negative 4. Now that P is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 0.8. So we got to get rid of him by dividing him out. And that is going to give us a negative 5 greater than P. And if we want to graph this, here is our negative 5. That is an open circle because it does not have the little line on the bottom. And we want all the P's that are less than that. So that way. All right, number 8 is a word problem. but we're not going to cry. We got this. The average of Mindy's 2 test scores must be at least 92. All right, so average at least 92. All right. To make an A in the class. Mindy got an 88 on first test. So, test 1, 88. What scores can she get on her second test to make an A in the class? Well, first of all, how do we calculate average? That's going to be the test she took plus the next test, which we'll just call T. And then we take those two, we add them together, and then we divide by 2. That's going to give us the average score. And then the other number we have here is 92. So it has to be at least 92. So can it be 92? Yes. So let's put the little line. Can this side be 91? No, we want it to be at least 92. So this side has to be greater than or equal to 92. Now, let's solve. So we do times 2 times 2. Those are going to cancel. We get 88 plus T. Let's see, 92 plus 92 is 4, 184. Now we subtract 88 on both sides. And we get that she has to get a 96 on her test. So we would write Mindy has to score a 96 or above. That would be our answer. All right, so moving on to number, what is that, 9? Yes, 9. If this would like to write, there we go. So number 9 says 5x less than 3x plus 8. So this is a situation where we have variables on both sides. Remember, we want all the variables on one side and all the numbers on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and move that guy over there. I wish there was an undo button here, but there is not. So here we go. So we're going to do minus 3x minus 3x. Those cancel. We have 5x minus 3x is going to be 2x less than 8. Now that x is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 2. So we got to divide it out. Those cross out. We have x is less than 4. All right, and let's go ahead and graph that because why not? So there's our 4, empty circle because there's no little line on the bottom. And we want all the x's that are less than 4. So it looks like that. All right, number 10 is 6p minus 3 greater than 9p. All right, so then we are going to put all the variables on one side. I forgot the word for a second there. And all the numbers on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and move this p over here. So I'm going to do that by doing minus 6p minus 6p. These two cancel out. Don't forget that minus in front of that 3. It's still there. And then 9p minus 6p is going to be a 3p. Now 3 times p means that the p is still not by himself. So we got to divide out that 3. We do the opposite of multiplication. So that's going to be negative 1 is greater than p. So when we graph that, it's going to look like this. Here's negative 1. It is an open circle because it does not have the little line on the bottom. And then we want all the p's that are smaller than that alligator's eating the negative 1. So the negative 1 is the biggest one. And we draw that to the left. All right, so number 11. We have 11r minus 8 greater than or equal to 3r minus 12. So I want all the variables on one side and all the numbers on the other. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you choose to move on which side or which one you move first, as long as you end up with the final goal of all the letters on one side and everyone else on the other. So, personally, I like to keep things positive, so I'm going to move the r. So those cancel. I have negative 8 over here. 3 minus r is going to be 2r, and then minus 12. All right, now let's move this 12 over to be with his friend over there. So plus 12, negative 8 plus 12 is going to be 4. And we divide both sides by 2. Those cancel. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we get 2 is greater than or equal to r. Yes. For some reason that was backwards and it confused me for a second. All right, so let's graph it. There's our 2. It is a filled in circle because we have that little line on the bottom, meaning it includes the 2. It is or equal to. All right, and the 2 is where the alligator is pointing, so we want everything smaller than 2. So it looks like that. All right, here we go with number 12. So we have 3y plus 6 greater than 2y plus 4. All right, there is a lot happening here that is disturbing me, so let's get rid of it. We got a lot of parentheses. Let's distribute this side first. So we have 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times 6 is 18. Whoop, forgot the 1. All right, now let's do this side. 2 times y is 2y, and 2 times 4 is 8. Success. All right, now we want all the letters to one side and all the numbers to the other. And you know me, I like to keep things positive, so I'm just going to move this 2y over here. So 3y minus 2y leaves me with just y, 1y, right? We don't have to write the 1. And then plus 18 greater than 8. All right, now let's move 18 to be with his friend 8 over here. So we do minus 18 minus 18. We get y is greater than negative 10. All right, and if we were to graph that, here is negative 10. It is an open circle, and we want all the y's bigger, so that way. All right, here we go with number 13. Oop, not 3. Wrong problem. We have 4, 5 minus g greater than or equal to g. All right, you know how I feel about those parentheses. Let's get rid of them. 4 times 5 is 20. And then 4 times negative g is negative 4g greater than or equal to g. We want all the letters on one side and all the numbers on the other, so I'm going to go ahead and move g to be with his friend over here. All right, so plus 4g plus 4g. Those cancel out. We still have 20 over here. And we have 1g plus 4g's, which is going to be 5g. All right, now that g's still not by himself. He's hanging out with that 5, so we got to divide it out. Those go away. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So we get that 4 is greater than or equal to g, which on a number line looks like this. That is a filled in circle because we have that or equal to. It includes the 4. And we want all the g's smaller than 4, so that way. All right, let's move on to number 14. So let's see, 14 is, 4x less than 4x minus 1. All right, once again, parentheses, I don't like them. So we're going to distribute. So we have 4x less than, so 4 times x is, whoa, okay, saucy computer, is going to be 4x. Oh, that looks like a chromosome. Anyway, all right, so 4 times negative 1 is going to be a negative 4. All right, as always, we want all the numbers on one side and all the letters on the other. So let's go ahead and move 4x to be with his friend over there. So we do minus 4x minus 4x. That's going to be 0. Those go away. And we get that 0 is less than negative 4. 0 is not less than negative 4. So, since this is false, there is nothing in this universe that we can ever do to make 0 less than 4. So there's no x we could ever put in here that's going to make this true, right? So therefore, we have no solution. Or if you're especially lazy, you can just write the circle with the dash. All right, let's see number 15. We've got 3, 1 minus x greater than or equal to, oh my heavens. Oh my gosh, what is happening? No, you don't want to move anymore? Got it. All right, fantastic. So greater than or equal to negative 3 x plus 2. Let's see if it'll, there we go. All right, so once again, I hate parentheses. Let's get rid of them. So we have 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times negative x is negative 3x. And that is greater than or equal to. And then negative 3 times x is going to be a negative 3x. And a negative 3 times 2 is a negative 6. All right, remember, all the numbers on one side, all the letters on the other. So let's see, let's do plus 3x over here, plus 3x over here. Those are going to go away. We have 3 greater than or equal to negative 6. Well, 3 is in fact greater than or equal to negative 6. In fact, it's strictly greater than. So this is true. So there is nothing in this world that we can do. There's no x we could put in here that's ever going to make 3 not be greater than 6. So because of that, the answer here is all real numbers. And remember, the abbreviation for that is the double stick R. All right, 16 is a beloved word problem. So it says Philip has $100 in the bank. Okay, so he's got $100 in bank. Okay. And then it says that he deposits $18 per month. So deposits $18 per month. So this is Philip. All right, Jill, or Gil, whatever his name is. He has $145 in the bank. And he deposits $15 a month. All right, for how many months will Gil have a larger bank balance than Philip? Gil, larger balance than Philip. All right, so let's put some mathy language in here. So we want Gil to have a larger balance than Philip, so greater than Philip. All right, but those are 2 words. That's not math, so we got to find some more mathy stuff. Let me go ahead and change the color over here. So for Philip, I have that he has 100. Why are you acting like this? Okay. So he has because this thing makes arrows. I get it. All right. So $100 in the bank, and then he does $18 a month. Now this one is 145 plus 15M. All right. So let's go ahead and put some mathy terms in here. For Gil, we have 145 plus 15M greater than Philip. Oh, sorry, wrote the wrong one. So sorry. No, I was right. Yeah. Gil is this one right here, 145 plus 15m, greater than Philip, which is this one here, which is 100 plus 18m. All right, now our strategy. Put all the letters on one side and all the numbers on the other. So I'm going to move this 15 over here. Those are going to cancel. I have 145 greater than 100. And then 18 minus 15 is 3. That is a plus 3. All right, now let's move this 100 to be with his friend 145 over there. 145 minus 100 is just 45. And greater than 3m. And then we divide both sides by 3. And 45 divided by 3 is 15. So 15 greater than m. So for 15 months, for any month less than 15, Gil will have more money. So, hold on. What just happened? There we go. All right. So, answer is less than 15 months. Like that. All right, halfway there. Number 17, we have -2 less than or equal to x plus 3 less than 9. All right, remember we want that x to be by himself in the middle between the alligators. So we got to get rid of that 3 minus 3 minus 3 and minus 3. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other two sides. So those go away. We have -2 and -3, which is -5. And then we have 9 minus 3, which is 6. And that's it. That's your answer. And let's see, do they want us to graph that? They do, of course they do. All right, so we're going to have -5, 6, solid circle on the -5 because it's got that little line on the bottom, open circle on the 6. We want the x to be bigger than -5, but less than -6. So that is in between. Now remember, anytime we see the x in between two numbers like that, it literally means in between. And in between is an and statement. So you can literally just go and color your little range between your two little endpoints, and that is that. All right, now we've got an or statement. So how do we solve or statements? Well, we pretend the other one doesn't exist. So we're going to solve this one and pretend that this guy doesn't exist. Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't have an undo button. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Haha, success. All right, so let's work on the one on the left first. So we're going to do -2 and -2. That is going to be m less than -3. All right, the m is by himself, so we're done with that one. Now let's solve this guy right here. So we do +2 plus 2. We get m is greater than 8. And what do we put in between? That or. Now if we want to graph that, we're going to have -3 over here, 8 over here. Both of those are open circles because neither one includes the number. It doesn't have the little line on the bottom. And let's see, we want all the m's less than -3, so that way. And all the m's greater than 8, so that way. All right, now number 19 says -3 less than or equal to x minus 1 greater than, oh, sorry, not less than or equal to. I was like, that looks really weird. Greater than or equal to. Normally we don't have little alligators pointing different ways on and statements. They all tend to point the same way. All right, so let's see. +1, +1, +1. What we do to one side, we have to do to all the others. So those are going to go away. We have -3 plus 1, which is going to be a -2. Just x left there, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. All right, we're going to graph that. Remember, x is in between -2 and 3, so that's exactly how we're going to draw it. Negative 2 as a solid circle. There's that little line on the bottom. And 3 is an open circle. And then we want the space in between. And that's it. All right, let's see. Number 20. We have negative 2 greater than r plus 2, or r plus 4 less than 5. Oh, wait a minute. Let's revisit this guy. Hold on. I just saw something. So we have our negative 2 and we have our 3. Solid circle, open. So our x has to be less than negative 2, but bigger than 3. So this is supposed to be an and statement. Remember when everything is all together and happy like that? That is and. And means that it has to be intersection. Can something be here and here at the same time? No. So there's no solution. Pretend that's centered. There we go. Something like that. All right. Moving on to this or statement. So we do minus 2 and minus 2. Those go away. We have negative 4 greater than r, minus 4, r, and that's going to be 1. And keep that or. All right, so let's see. We have negative 4 and 1. They're both open circles. So we want r to be more than negative 4. That way. We want r to be less than negative 1. Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. It is late, and I am not thinking straight. Oh. There we go. Less than. The r's have to be smaller than the negative 4. All right, remember, this is an or statement. So we're looking for 1 line, 2 lines, because technically over here would be 2 lines. So we can just say that r is less than 1. And that's it. All right, and 21 is a word problem, but we are not going to cry. So it is recommended that certain medicine be stored in temperatures above 32 degrees Fahrenheit and below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Write a compound inequality to show the acceptable storage temperatures for this medicine. All right, so let's see. We've got 32 and 70. So above 32 means not including 32, and then that way. And below 70 means not including 70, and that way. So that is an and statement. We have that in-between area. So we're going to write little guy, variable, big guy, and all the alligators point towards the big guy. And that's it. All right, last section. Here we go. Number 22, the absolute value of x plus 9. Oh my heavens, I'm going to kill this laptop. Hang on, guys. There we go. Is less than or equal to 12. Now remember, when we're solving absolute value, we want to have that little house by himself. So let's move that 9. We have absolute value of x. Those go away. And 12 minus 9 is 3. All right, so remember there are 2 cases when we have when we have an absolute value. Here is 0. Here is 3. Here is negative 3. We want all distances less than or equal to 3. So solid circle on the 3's. And the distance from 0 that is less than 3 is going to be over here for this guy and over here for this guy. So it's going to be that area in between. And remember, when we have in between, that is an and statement, and we can write as one little line. So we're going to write little guy, variable, big guy, and all the alligators are pointing towards the big guy. Don't forget that if the first one was or equal to, these guys have to be or equal to as well. All right, let's see what 23 is telling us. 23 says, absolute value of x plus 7 minus 15 is less than 6. All right. So we want to isolate the little house, this guy right here. So we got to get rid of that 15 that's hanging out right here. So we do plus 15 and plus 15. X plus 7. Whoops. And then 6 plus 15 is going to be 21. All right, now we are ready to do our two cases. So we have case 1. That's going to be the positive version where nothing changes. And then case 2 is the negative version. So we have x plus 7, negative 21. And since that 21 is now negative, we flip the alligator. Now we solve each one. So minus 7, x is less than, what is that, 14? Yes. And then minus 7, x is greater than negative 28. Now let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So we have negative 28 and 14. They're both open circles. So we want all the x's bigger than negative 28 and all the x's smaller. So it is this in-between area. In between means and. It also means that I can write my x in between two numbers. So I have little guy, variable, big guy. And all the alligators point to the big guy. And since the original had no little line on the bottom, these have no little lines on the bottom. And that is our answer. All right, let's see, number 24. We have 4.5 absolute value, of x greater than or equal to 31.5. All right, so we want that little house to be by himself, so we got to divide both sides by 4.5. Absolute value of x. This is going to be 7. So we have the distance of x away from 0. So we have negative 7 and positive 7. We want that distance to be greater than 7. So we have closed circles on the 7 because of that little line right there. And we go like this. And what do we have when we go opposite directions like that? That is an or statement. So we write our answer as, so we do x, negative 7, x, 7. We know that or goes in between. Now for this guy right here, we want all the x's less than. And then for this guy right here, we want all the x's greater than. So this is our answer. All right, number 25. We have x minus 2 less than or equal to 14. All right, our little house is already by himself, so we can go ahead and set up our cases. Case 1 and case 2. Case 1 is the positive version. You're going to have x minus 2 less than 14. We didn't change any signs, so we don't change any alligators. Now, case 2 is going to be the negative version. So there's our negative 14. Since we changed the sign, we have to change the alligator. All right, now we solve each side. So we do plus 2 over here, plus 2. We get x is less than or equal to 16. We do plus 2, plus 2. We get x is greater than or equal to negative 12. All right, let's go ahead and graph that. So negative 12 is down here. Here is 16. These are filled in circles because we got that little line on the bottom. So we want all the x's that are less than 16 and all the x's that are greater than negative 12. So that's that in-between space, and we know that in-between is and in-between is also x in between two alligators. So we got little guy, x, big guy. And the alligators are all pointing towards the big guy. All right, let's see, number 26. We have absolute value of x minus 9.2 less than negative 5.7. So we want that absolute value to be by himself. So we add 9.2. And over here, minus 5.7 plus 9.2 is going to give us a 3.5. All right. So we have 0, we have 3.5, and we have negative 3.5. They are open circles, and we want the distance to be more than 3.5. So it's going to be over here and over here. And ladies and gentlemen, that is an OR statement. So we're going to have x negative 3.5 or x 0.5 and 3.5. So we want all the x's that are less than negative 3.5 and all the x's that are greater than 3.5. All right, 27 says 1/2 plus 2 absolute value of x is greater than negative 14. All right, we want to put that little house by himself, and we're going to do that by moving the easy Lego first. Now, I don't feel like dealing with fractions, so since this is an easy fraction, I'm going to convert this to 0.5. Whoa, that was wild. There we go, negative 4. Minus 0.5, minus 0.5, we get 2, absolute value of x, greater than negative 4.5. Now that x is still not by himself, so we got to divide out that 2. We get absolute value of x is greater than, let's see, negative 2.25. Wait. I'm insane, guys. Look, do you see what I missed? This guy right here. That negative. Oh, no, I haven't missed it yet. Ha ha ha, just kidding. Here's the negative. So we have absolute value is greater than a negative distance. Well, any distance is greater than a negative distance because you can't have a negative distance. So the answer here is all real numbers. So double stick R if this would like to write. There it is. All right, 28. We have 7 plus 3x greater than 13. We want the little house by himself, so let's move that 7. 3x. 13 minus 7 is going to give us 6. All right, now the little house is by himself. We can have our cases. Case 1 is the positive version, so 3x greater than 6, nothing changes. And case 2 is 3x less than negative 6. We change the sign on that 6, so we switch the alligator. Divide by 3, divide by 3. We get x greater than 2 over here. Divide by 3, divide by 3. We get x less than negative 2 over here. So let's go ahead and graph that. We have negative 2 and 2. And we have open circles on both. We want all the values less than negative 2. and all the values greater than -2. That is an OR statement. So we're going to write -2, x, x, and 2. We want all the x's. Oh, I already have it written here. We can just write OR right there and circle that. Success. All right, last one, and we are finishing with a bang with a word problem. So number 29. Ellie attended a concert. The decibel level of the volume averaged 110 decibels. I don't know what the abbreviation for decimals is, so we're just going to put dec. All right, and then it says, but it varied by 22 decimals from the average. Varied by 22 from the average. Right, and solve the absolute value inequality to find the decimal range. All right, so what does this mean? It means here is 110, and we can go 22 that way, or we can go 22 that way. So I guess we'll call it D for the new decimal. So the distance between the new decimal and 110, absolute value, has to be less than or equal to 22. All right, now we solve this. So we have the house is already by himself, so we can do case 1, which is D minus 110 is less than 22. Nothing changes. And case 2, that is the negative. So we have D minus 110 is greater than or equal to negative 22. We changed the sign, so we changed the alligator. Plus 110 plus 110. So D is less than or equal to 132. And then over here we have plus 110 and plus 110, which is going to give us D is greater than or equal to 88. Now let's graph this. So we have 88 and 132. These are solid circles. Everything bigger than 88 and everything less than 32. So that is an in-between situation. And we can write in-betweens as 88 less than or equal to D less than or equal to 132. And that is our answer. And that completes our practice test. Hope that helped. Practice quiz, not test. Whoops.